Hi, my name's Carl DePrado with A to Z Business IT. Hoping you're having a great day. Today I wanted to talk to you about 6 ways offering remote work to your employees can help your company stay competitive. The gas prices are ridiculous right now. They have doubled in the last 6 months, and it's a challenge. It's going to be a bigger challenge as we go forward in this time. And remote work is a very viable alternative to help for a lot of companies stay competitive and retain and keep their employees. And the good news is a lot of us already had to go through that when we were dealing with COVID. So what are some of the benefits of going to remote work? Well, first thing is going to be it improves the work-life balance of your employees. Working remotely was almost impossible 2 decades ago, 20 years ago, even 5, 10 years ago. We had subpar internet. We didn't have computers that were fast enough. The web was really not as developed as we were hoping it was going to be, and it really caused a lot of issues as far as that was concerned. The good news is now it's not as much of an issue as it was before. We have the tools in place, and companies have been able to do this due to the pandemic that had happened. So it's not an unfamiliar territory for employees, and this can turn out to be a very big boom, or a very positive thing for companies. It looks like we were saying even before all this, remote work was looking like it was going to be a more permanent situation, and it looks like it's moving that way. And especially with the crisis and the challenges that are coming up in the economy, and I'm just going to go through some of the benefits of what happens here. So we've talked about that. Well, because they're they get a better work life. Obviously, they feel freer. It keeps employees more happy and engaged and pleased. And you don't have to go 100%. You can do a hybrid solution in a lot of cases where the employee works 3 to 4 days off-site and then 1 day on-site. Similar to when a lot of teams in the sales departments, the salesman doesn't have to check. If they're on the road, they may have to check in with the home office. Well, now we're doing that same model now in marketing and in accounting and in production. So there's a lot of different places where you don't physically have to have an employee on site, and because of that, it really just helps them stay happier. It gives them more freedom. But it also with that, you're going to get some plus benefits on this. And like I said, in this hybrid solution, there's so many different ways of splitting this up. You can do 2 weeks at home, 1 week in the office. There's many different ways, but at least offering some form of this does improve the overall well-being of the employee. And that has a benefit to health costs, which are our other big expense. Remote work improves the health. Working reduces the stress and limits exposure to illness. It allows them to, by eliminating that commute, they get to exercise a little bit more and move around. They're not rushing through lunches and extended office hours. They're also not dealing with some of the side stress of working in a tight office environment. This is becoming a real big health benefit for employees to be able to do this from the comfort of their home, or at least eliminating the unnecessary commutes that happen with this. And the benefits come in there. Besides, also, a healthier employee, by the way, also reduces the overall insurance costs that may have a benefit to your premiums that you, as an employee, that you pay. Teleworking, bottom line, boosts productivities. It used to be, if I don't see my staff, where are they? Employers who trust their workers to work remotely, they might see productivity boosts in such areas as they're not worried about their employees taking extra coffee breaks or long commutes or other distractions. And that benefits, by an undistracted employee, productivity soars. Remote workers saw productivity gains of almost a full day, and the side benefit of fewer sick days. One of the things with a remote worker versus a regular worker is if they're sick, they can't go to the office. Sometimes you get a little cold and a sniffle, and you can work, but because it is you're in an office environment, it's not good for you to be in there because nobody else needs the sniffles either. So you may, being able to work from home, allows those type of things to not be, that cross contamination not to happen. And the other big thing about the productivity is you see a 50% drop in staff turnover. Staff turnover is one of the big costs that comes to a business. It's easy to estimate easily the turnover of a staff position, the loss of a staff, overall cost and productivity is easily the cost of that staff's salary for a year. So by reducing your turnover by 50%, this again is helping you save your costs overall. The other things, as we were talking about money, bottom line, fewer office workers, saves costs, corporate cost. It allows you to use your real estate more effectively with fewer employees in the workplace. I have one company that had formal offices that now only rents conference space as they need it to talk to their clients, and it's allowed them to be more flexible because they can take that model of renting an office space at the time that they need it and go to any city they need to do it in. And even if you need to have a fixed location, well, if you have an office of 10 and 3/4 of it are no longer in the office at any one time and they're just rotating in and out, you can reduce your overall office space dramatically. And so Stanford had a study where they saw that remote employees save the organizations approximately $2,000 per person in office space. I can guarantee you that number is only going to go up, and probably exponentially in the next year as we see inflation costs going in here. And then the final thing is it helps you just stay competitive because people drive business, not products. The Gallup reports that 35% of current employees who work in the office 100% would gladly switch employment if they could work remotely full-time. When you think of one of the biggest stresses that happens in a person's life is the change of a job, and one of the reasons that and that is a powerful force for businesses being able to retain workers. That 35% of your workforce would switch in a heartbeat if they could work remotely. Well, that tells you one thing. If you're on the side that says no, we're going to stay 100% on site, your exposure to losing a third of your workforce is dramatic. Also, if you decide that we're going to put this model in, it allows you to retain really good talent and being able to get people, who really would like that remote model available. Also, one of the other things is you can hire people. You don't have to hire them in your geographical region. You can hire them anywhere. They can work literally from any place in this country or around the world. Now, and that allows small companies to do this as well. So, it really does, at the end of the day, with our current situation, it's almost like we're going through the same challenges, in some ways worse, than what we had to do with the pandemic. Because I've never seen in my lifetime where inflation goes down. And the challenges of, fixed costs going through the roof, putting a remote model in here allows you to focus not on the trappings of an office space and the commutes and the stress of a business, but it allows you to focus on being able to invest in the most important parts of your business, which are you're getting really good talent to help your business thrive and expand, and not wasting it on the superfluous. So Carl DiPrato, A to Z Business to IT, and this whole process that we're talking about is really taking a business to the web, making it so that they can work anywhere that they need to, and we do this with companies all the time. We can get a company to the web within 30 days. So if this is something that interests you, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to help you stay competitive and thrive in this challenging environment. You guys have a great day.